What's happening? All right, so that's a win. All right, I think it's two in a row. Weird to say, but hey, yay! The Lakers won. The Lakers won. I don't even know how to feel. It's great. You know what? Hey, thanks for being here on a Sunday. I'm Greg Bergman. This is Showtime Forum post game. That's at Bergman Greg on Twitter, at Bergman Greg on Instagram, and at Showtime Forum on all those platforms as well, especially on Twitter. And look, the Lakers won another time in the game. This tank is not working so well. Basically, the New Orleans Pelicans are way better at this whole tanking thing than the Lakers are. And that's kind of what we had. Hey, Boogie. Oh, I know, man. I saw that. Hey, Boogie. Nipsey Hussle just died. I know. That's sad, man. That's a tough one. I know that Ray L. Barbone and Adizi, those were guys, they were talking about it in the Slack. That's a tough. 6 times. You want to bro? All right, here is a moment of silence for Nipsey Hussle. Really sorry to hear about that one. That's a tough one. I know O'Shea's really upset about that. That's killer, man. But it's tough. And hope all the best for the family and friends and all that, and just everybody that was a fan. And feel really bad about that. God, this is a tough transition. It's a tough transition going from the moment of silence and shout out to Nipsey and to move into here. So this is gonna be a tough. I'm just gonna kind of just move. I don't know how else to do it. I'm just gonna try and move. Well, rest in peace, Nip. I remember he was ready to roll when the Rockets Lakers were rumbling. Yeah, yes, he was. All right, so if you guys want, whatever you guys want to talk about today, because really, there's only so little to talk about that in terms of the game. Like, the game itself was just the game. The Lakers played a game against the Pelicans. The Pelicans were better at tanking than the Lakers, and they were just terrible. That was one of the worst basketball teams I've ever watched, period. The Pelicans look that bad. Every team, Phoenix looks better than they do. I don't know how many times I saw them actually just throw the ball behind the half court line to go back court multiple times. They just had no semblance of an offense whatsoever. That was a bad team. So anyway, God, I'm in a weird spot with all that. I'm sorry that it had to turn out that way. All right, yeah, I know, Robin Yeezy, yeah, Nipsey, man, it's a brutal one. You guys read the Dave McMenamin article on ESPN? Deep stuff. Safe to say he won't be experimenting. We won't be experimenting this summer, bro. Well, I was just starting to read it. And yes, it's a very sad day for hip hop. And I was just starting to read that Dave McMenamin article, and it was basically just about how, LeBron shut down because the coaching staff wanted him to shut down. He should have been shut down. He should have been shut down a long time ago. And I feel like my camera's all messed up, but whatever. He should have been shut down a long time ago, but he wanted to play. He wanted to catch Kobe. There was a lot of things that were happening to make him that he should have wanted to stick around. Unfortunately, it took this long, and the coaching staff apparently said that he wanted to go, or they told him it was time to stop. Well, it was time to stop. He was absolutely right in that sense. So nothing wrong there. And man, all right. So I see a bunch of you guys on here on Periscope. I can't see the comments, and I don't know why. There's guys on here, but the comments just aren't showing up, and I don't know how to fix that. So if you're making a comment and I don't see it, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. If you want to go over to YouTube or Instagram, it's all the same. It's Showtime Forum on both of those. I'm happy, or even Twitch. I'm happy to look into all those, but for some reason, comments are just not showing up on Periscope. I saw Golden Knight. I saw you were on there. Just type in, like, what's up, and I want to see if I can actually see it. And then try it on another platform and see if that works, because there's something going on with Periscope. It's like these ghost comments or whatever they're calling them. I don't know what the deal is, but for some reason, I'm not seeing what's happening on there. It's kind of frustrating. Bro Walton, my favorite part is him blowing raspberries when they asked about the roster construction. Yeah. Pfft. Yeah, that's one of the. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? There's nothing really else that's supposed to be in. What's up, LWOS? Hey, Lakers, LWOS. I know you're on there all the time. Hit me up. Just say like yo on there. Just write yo on Periscope, and then because I'm not seeing comments, if you can write it on there or try it on Twitch. Oh, I got Franklin Peanut saying, "What's up, BG?" I get Bergman Greg. Oh, I guess that works too. Bergman Greg. Yeah, it works. I'm so used to people saying GB. So when it says BG, it kind of like throws me off a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what you guys want to talk about. I was having trouble. I woke up, or I started watching the game, and I know I was coming on here, and I've shut down a couple of times recently, and I said to myself, what am I going to talk about when I go on to Showtime Forum? And I said, I don't know, whatever they want to talk about, but there's not a ton. We've hit so many topics in the past. I can talk about this. What about this? This shirt. Oh, yeah, there you go. Rael Barbone. That's a pretty dope shirt you have there. It is a pretty dope shirt, right? This is the new Showtime Forum shirt, and we're going to be making these to actually be made to give out. We will be selling these at some point. So at some point, we're going to put it on the site, and we're going to be selling these. But until then, it's just me and the crew that got them. But these are some sick shirts. I love these shirts. By the way, and they were made all nicely by David Portillo at Dash O. His wife made them. Made me this cool box that goes with it. Made the box. I got a beer koozie out of all it. Look at that. That's some good stuff right there. All right, let's see. What's up, Greg? It's LWS LA Lakers from Twitter here. Hey, what's up, Evan? Thank you. Appreciate you coming on there. I'm not seeing your comments. So did you comment over there? Because I'm not seeing it. I got Shane K. Lee was actually showing up on there. Hey, Greg, can you see this? I can. Nice win for the LA Dodgers. Oh, and the Lakers. Caruso should be on the team. Yeah, I can see that. Caruso, I think that's the one thing that we can really talk about in all of this is what we can get out of Caruso. Caruso is now pretty much shown that he is deserving of a spot. I think he has his contract's coming up, but he deserves to be on this roster as a second or third point guard, and really just your third point guard. And he's going to be a guy, mostly if it's not even for anything else he does, which is great. You see that he hits his 3-point shot. He's got a ton of energy. He's good around the basket. He does a lot, but mostly it's the free throws. He hits his free throws, and that's just that alone tells you that he should be on this team because of that. He had 6 assists, 23 points, and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Yes, that's a reason why I want to. Nah, I didn't try on Periscope yet, but I know you're having some trouble there. Yeah, it's a brutal thing that's happening. I think apparently I'm not the only one that's having these Periscope problems, because I go online and I just type in, like, how do I get people to be able to see on Periscope? And it's not. People are having the exact same issue. Hashtag get your merch. That's right. Hashtag get your merch. This is way better than that Triple B garbage. This is real quality, authentic Showtime Forum gear right here. So yeah. So I mean, yes. When you're looking at the roster construction, when you look at what you have out there right now, look at what you saw out there. I mean, look, JaVale McGee is, again, having another great game. So, again, JaVale, in the games that don't matter, and we understand that there's only, 5 more games left. They're 35 and 42. That's 77 games, so they got 5 more games. Yeah, 5. Appreciate it. Yeah, but he's been getting double-doubles game in, game out, and he seems like he's back to himself after the pneumonia problem. The issue is, like, we don't know what it is, who JaVale really is, because he's on the floor with Wagner and Rondo and Stevenson and Pope and Jonathan Williams and Muscala and, Jamario Jones and Isaac Bonga, and, like, it's totally different. So I'm wary always of big numbers on bad teams, because that's what we're looking at. Love the Showtime Forum merch. Got to get my hand on some of that ASAP. Yes, LWS. We are going to be making them. We just got to make a store, and I don't really know how to do it, but I'm going to do it over the next week or so. I want to get that up, and then we have people that will make the shirts. It's going to be all ready to go, and we'll just do them by order. If you want one, hit up through DM, hit up on Twitter, at Showtime Forum on there, and just say what you want, how many you want, your size. You want a hat, you want a shirt, you want a hoodie. Tell us what you want, what you're looking for, and then we can start making them to order at that point. So if you want something Showtime Forum Live, at Showtime Forum on Twitter, hit it up, send a DM to them, and make that happen. And if you're on Periscope, I can't see everything. I know there's a bunch of you over there. I don't know why I can't see the comments, and I'm sorry, but if you can't, go over to Instagram, go over to Twitch, or go over to YouTube, and you'll be able to find all of this, and I'll be able to answer right away. If it sucks that I can't see this, it's very frustrating. Franklin Peanuts, I need that in a large, bro. Franklin Peanuts on Periscope, or I don't know if you got Twitter or Instagram. Hit Showtime Forum up on Instagram and on Twitter. Just DM both of them and just say what you want, size, and what you're looking for. Happy to get that for you. Maybe spam. Yo, this is Premier BI from Twitter. Anyways, is this just another usual late season surge from KCP like always, or is it lethal shooter's impact? I think it's a little bit of both, actually. Premier BI. I don't know why I'm not seeing your stuff. It's so frustrating. But yeah, Premier BI, this is A little bit of both. Towards the end of the year, when you don't have a lot of guys that are going to be taking shots away from you, somebody's got to make shots, and he's the one that to be the biggest beneficiary of this. But I honestly do think that this has to do a little bit with Lethal Shooter at the same time, because when he was doing in December, Lethal Shooter was the coach for KCP, and he was hitting 4 or 5 3-pointers in a game consistently, 3, 4, 5 over and over again. And then when it came to when he stopped working with them, and in January just totally fell apart in February, and then all of a sudden now he's starting to really hit his shot again. I think a lot of that has to do with it. It's getting your mindset right, and that's what the shooting coach has done for him. Like when I play pickup, which I know, laugh, haha, when I play pickup, but when I pick, it's a lot of use basically 2 fingers. And you try and keep it off those 2 fingers. It's all about how you take it off. And if you get the right shooting motion, and you just bring it up and you have the right shooting motion, you're going to most of the time hit most of your shots. If he's off just a little bit, all of a sudden it goes off to the side, goes long. The shooting coach really makes a difference, and I think Lethal Shooter is that guy. And it seems like eventually he's going to be a part of the Lakers staff from everything that you're kind of reading. I don't know. Everything that everybody's reading is basically showing just that. Ray Albarbone, is Caruso finally coming into his own? He had another great game today. I'm starting to warm up to him as a backup next season. I think he's having another great game. And again, we were talking about this before, Ray. He is a playing well on a bad team. Kendall Marshall, when he was with Laker, played well on a bad team. There's always going to be those guys. I think he's a good player. I think he's a guy that's going to be able to do more. And he was going to be able to, the third guy, the 15th guy, the 14th, 13th guy, the guy that can come in if there's injuries, he's going to do, that's who he is. He's an energy guy off the bench late in games. It may be in between those that, like when you pull out the starters, going in between the first and second quarters, between the third and fourth quarters, maybe he gets into those times. But, I mean, you're not seeing 25, 30 minutes a game from Caruso. He had 29 minutes today. You're not going to get that again next year when you have other guys, when Lonzo's healthy, and you probably bring in another backup. He's not good enough to be a backup, but he's good enough to be the third guy on this roster. Maybe Spam. I've heard rumors he could join the Lakers permanently. Have you heard this too? Any truth to it? I mean, it's everything is all up in the air. This summer makes so much difference. You don't know what we're actually going to see this summer. Guys are going to be brought in and out. It really just depends. I think Caruso should be able to make this team. Maybe they'll give him the contract. Maybe it's another 2-way. I don't know what it's going to be, but yeah, he could be on the team permanently. But again, it's the third. He's not going to be on here as your second point guard. If Alex Caruso is your second point guard moving forward, then that's not a good year for Alex Caruso. That's not a good year for the Lakers. They need a better point guard. I like Caruso, but he's just a third guy. I mean, that's all I see out of him. Chase Aguirre, still think LeBron lands the star? It seems he knows something we don't. Chase, you're right. He does. He talks like he's got something up his sleeve. I mean, this was always the plan. The plan for LeBron was always come in 1 year, hopefully bring in Paul George with you. You didn't get Paul George. All right, we'll shift our focus to next year, bring in a star next year in the next summer. 2019 summer was always what it was about. So we're getting close to it. We're about to be in April, May, June. We got July. We got 3 months between the 3 months, whether it's the draft pick, whether it's bringing somebody in free agent wise. We got some time, and it's all going to change. Maybe Spam. Kendall Marshall averaged 10 assists for us. Alex is a third stringer at best, in my opinion. Exactly. It's the same situation. Kendall Marshall was fantastic on a bad team. And you're like, oh, yeah, Kendall Marshall is going to be so good. No, he's not, because he's not a good player. Evan, I just tried commenting on Periscope, not sure why it's not working. See, and you're followed. This is the thing. You follow Showtime Forum on Instagram on Periscope or Twitter, and we follow, and Showtime Forum follows you on there, so you should be available to be on there. But it's not. The comments are just not clicking through. I sent an email. I did everything I'm supposed to do. I don't know what's happening there. And I got Mr. Kelly saying I was thinking the same thing earlier today. I think that has to do with Caruso, but I don't know. I got Vern Redface joining. Thank you for joining. I can't see your comments on Periscope for some reason. I apologize for that. I got a bunch that I'm just not seeing. It's very frustrating. Maybe I got to find another way to do this. Maybe I can do it through the comments app. Let's see. Oh, I got to download it. It's just all going to work out. Oh, I got noises happening at me now, too. All right, I'm going to try and find ways to do this, and hopefully by the next time it'll be fixed, because I got to get around this some way. Hopefully it starts working eventually. Okay, just start doing that. I'm just pressing buttons while we're talking. Evan Schuster, I just tried. Yeah, we just tried that as well. I don't know what's happening. Save file. Okay, go. I'm trying to download things as we're talking. It doesn't work out very well, does it? Chase Aguirre, if we can have one star, Kawhi or Kyrie, which do you prefer? And that's not even a question. That is the easiest question I will ever answer for you. Kawhi Leonard. I would love Kawhi Leonard on this team. If I had to choose, if we were for sure going to get one of those guys, it's Kawhi Leonard, because Kawhi Leonard is going to be a top 5 player in the league. He's a top 5 defensive two-way player. He's maybe the best two-way player in the entire league, period. He's hitting shots at end of games to win games. He's taking over. He shut down LeBron in the finals just a couple of years ago. He seems totally healthy. I love what I'm seeing from Kawhi Leonard. I would 100% go that way. The Lakers really 4-1 since they were officially eliminated from the playoff contention. Why? I know, man. This is all of a sudden, when it's time to lose, they're winning. It's because other teams are better at tanking than they are. And also, what more can you ask the Lakers to do to tank? Look at who your team was. Look at we're not even talking about who was on the floor. Let's talk about who was off the floor. Kyle Kuzma was not on the floor. No, Brandon Ingram was shut down. Josh Hart shut down. Lonzo Ball shut down. LeBron James shut down. Tyson Chandler, again, didn't play. Your entire team is shut down, and they're still winning games. There's nothing you can do. The Pelicans have already proven that they're way better at this whole tanking thing than anybody else when they did it not so long ago. You know what I mean? Like they lost. They had a 6-point lead with like 30 seconds left, and they blew that game. They're fully involved in this tank, and now New Orleans is in that 9 spot, 1 game up on Memphis, and Memphis has just won a game. So they're trying to make that move. They're trying to make that move forward, and really you're looking at the Lakers are kind of stuck now. I mean, they're going to be in the lottery, but it looks like they're going to be right around 10-11. They're now a game up, or a half a game up on Minnesota. That's not what you want. If you're a Laker fan, that's not what you want. You want to get a higher draft pick. This is not the best draft class. So can we open this? I'm just trying to do stuff. And if I lost you here, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do multiple things at the same time. This is not the best way to go about this. I should have done this way before. What do you see us doing with our pick? I've heard they're going to move pick, and considering picks are more valuable pre-draft, who do you think we can get? It really just depends. I think you can get somebody the draft pick is only going to matter in the terms of money, because yes, most likely they probably will. Can't see. I'm going to try it now. The chat is ready to display messages. I'm trying to do these things here. Embed and stream. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Fasten your seatbelts. You're going to take. I don't know what's happening. Analytic appearance. Go back. I'm sorry. I'm doing things at one time. The chat is waiting for new messages. I get it. I don't know what's happening. Whatever. I'm sorry. Who do we think we can get? I feel so off today. I'm sorry, guys. But yes, what I've always said, if you can move the pick, Kuz and Hart for Beal, I'd do that in a minute. In a heartbeat. Zoe and BI should be untouchable though. Okay, yes, I think you're totally right in that. If you're going to move somebody, it's going to be Kyle Kuzma. Josh Hart is going to be a good player for the rest of his career, but he's not going to be anything amazing. So yes, if you move, and Kuz is the one guy that I would actually move in this situation. I don't think he has a ton going forward, but I think that if you move Kuz and Hart for Beal and the draft pick, if the money works out, because Beal has got 1 year left on his contract, 25 minutes a game, $25 million next year. I think that's a doable contract. And if that's a doable contract, then I think that's something that you should do. If you can make that move, great, because then you can also move off him the next year as well if you need to. And I got to stop trying to do multiple things at once. That's it. I'm done trying to press that stuff. Let's see. Wasn't able to watch the game, but I was completely shocked when I checked the scoreboard. That's the funny thing about this game, right? Is how much of you actually watched the game? How many people on here actually watched the Laker game from beginning to end in a 130-102 blowout with no starters, nobody that you actually care about playing? I know I did. I watched some. I was going in and out of the game for the most part. I watched the end. I watched the fourth quarter. I was in and out earlier on, but the game itself doesn't matter in these situations. Let's see. Yes, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, big Laker fan, and we've talked about it at the beginning. We had a moment of silence for him. It's a tough one. Ray L. Barbone, D'Angelo Russell tweeted out earlier that he thinks there should be co-MVPs and co-Rookies of the Years. Thoughts? Nah, man, no, I don't. I don't think there should be co-anything. Everybody does things in different ways, right? I don't think that I don't need a co-MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo, to me, is the MVP of this league, no matter what. I hate the way that that James Harden plays, but I don't want this whole thing. Then we're getting, it just gets to be too big. Because then what's wrong? All right, so then we get two MVPs. Then why don't we just move it up to 3? Oh, these 3 guys all played really well. No, one guy gets it. There's going to be some people are going to be upset. People are going to be happy. It's going to kind of go everywhere. But still, no nothing. No Rookies of the Year. Trae Young is playing out of his mind at the end of this year. Did he do it long enough? Probably not. But I think he's been so good, I would probably give my vote to Trae Young over Luka Doncic. But Luka has been doing it from day one to day. It's just been good basketball for him. So for the most part, no, I wouldn't. I think Luka's going to win it, but I think Trae Young is kind of pushing himself into that conversation towards the end. I did live tweeted the whole game, and boy, it really tested my will. Man, you're crazy. I know. Look, if I was live tweeting, then absolutely. I know that Ray L. Barbone said he watched the whole game, and I believe it was either Adizi or Devon or Donnie that were on the live tweets for ShowtimeForum, and they watched the whole game. But man, I'm sorry, it's Sunday. I wanted to watch some other things. I even let Michelle watch some of her shows. I was watching on my little phone instead of watching it on the TV. I played some NBA 2K in between. It wasn't the most exciting game to watch. I watched more of this than Lakers game. This month. Hey, I'm totally fine with that. As long as you're here, that's all that matters to me. And I don't know if I'm going to go too long today because there's not just. Give me a topic. Somebody hit me up with something that they want to talk about. It can be anything. You want to ask about Mason Ireland. You want to talk about ShowtimeForum. You want to talk about Game of Thrones. You want to talk about the Dodgers. The Dodgers got another win. Come from behind 3-1 at the beginning of the year. Good about that. I'm happy to talk about whatever you guys want. And it can very much be Lakers. I got to have something to talk about tomorrow. I mean, we can get into this whole Kristaps Porzingis thing if you want. That's a brutal one right there. Just got to LA a couple days ago, and going to my first Laker game here on Friday was really a dream. Oh, dude, you went to your first Laker game? Wow, you should hit me up first if you're going to the Laker game. I was downtown in LA. I work in downtown LA at ESPN LA. Hit me up. Let me know when you're going down there. Could have said hello. Got a drink before I went home. Got a cup of coffee, whatever it was. Absolutely. Bellinger, MVP candidate. He should be. This is supposed to be his year. Cody Bellinger should absolutely be a MVP candidate this year. He's already been, I think he had another 3 hits today, a couple home runs. He's been fantastic recently. And and this is kind of what you want. He's got that everyday job now. You want Cody Bellinger to be a superstar moving forward. But everybody's kind of hitting right now. It's nice too, right? It's nice to see them actually hitting. What's up, Laker Facts? If you can try and write something, I'm not seeing everybody. I got Donovan Bryant. What's up, Donovan? Can Boston get out of the East this year? Man, they can. I don't know, though. I think they got some drama that's going on there that's really causing them some issues. They just lost again recently, and I'm telling you, Boston, there's something going on there. They got infighting. This is Marcus Morris talking to them around the trade deadline, was talking about how there's just problems there. Kyrie, you can tell he's not happy. There's a whole bunch of issues going on with Boston, and I don't think they're going to get out of it. I think Milwaukee's too good. I think Toronto's too good. The 76ers are too good. I think the Pacers, if it all ends right now, Boston and the Pacers are going to be seeing each other in the first round. I think the Pacers give them a run, and like a good run, and they go deep into that. I think Boston may still get out of that, but that's not easy. And especially they're tied 4 or 5. If they switch and Indiana gets the home court, you got something different going on there. So Donovan, I don't know if they can. And that's if you don't get out of there and Kyrie doesn't stay, everything goes up in the air. 6-man suits Kuz best. Wow, maybe Spam. Yeah, man, that's something we've been talking about all year long. He had December Kuz was a thing, and December Kuz is not there anymore, and he hasn't been since December. He seems to have that one great month where you're like, oh man, that's the guy, and then he kind of reverts back to, I know he did get injured, but he reverts back to the guy that he was, and that's who he should be, a sixth man. I think that going back to the very, very beginning of the year, he is now, that's who he is. Yeah, I've always said Kuzma upside isn't all that. Realistically, Kuz is the worst defending starting four in the league and is 24 in a month. We got to realize he's a good scorer, and that's it. I think we have a pretty good idea that's who Kuzma is, and he does more. I mean, he's trying to do more. You can see it in him that he's trying to be a better player. He's trying to do so many other things as well, and he's trying to be a guy that's facilitating. He's trying, if his shot's not moving, he's getting to the basket. He moves very, very well off ball, so he could be really good otherwise, but I think he's going to be more so, he's better as the sixth man. Depending on who you bring in this year, he'd be the best guy off the bench. George Santiago, you watched because you're a real one. Did you already comment on McTen's article? Just heard more insights from Sedano's show. George Santiago on Twitch, yeah, I did. Did you already comment? I talked a little bit. I didn't get to finish McTen's article. I saw the beginning of it because by the time I saw it, I was like, oh, there's a McTen article, because I was doing other stuff at Sunday and watching the game and doing other things. And so I saw it. The only thing I read was that the coaching staff was the one that convinced LeBron to shut it down. If you're talking about the McTen article that came out last week, that was a really, really strong article, and a ton of stuff came out of that one, and I did read that one. That one there's a lot happening there, and just doesn't make Magic Johnson look all that good, and that's pretty easy to do at this point, right? I mean, Magic Johnson just doesn't look all that great in general with how all the things that's going on around him. The Wizards are in shambles. They've traded Porter, Morris, and don't have Wall all next year. Why wouldn't they trade Beal? Yeah, they should trade Beal. It would as long as they get enough for it. Here, I mean, he does have a $25 million contract, and the money still has to match up. They need to be able to get to that. Let's see. I was reading another one. LWS times Greg Berg post game. There you go. Hey, you're on here all the time. I'm happy to. We can discuss if you know. I will have people on every once in a while. I got to get my guys on first. I got to get the guys on that are outside of here too, like Momo. She came on, and get O'Shea back in here. The guys that have like on Silver Screen and Roll. Bill Ryder, who from CBS, he's supposed to come on this year. We can work something out, Evan. We'll see. We can talk. We got to actually have a face to face first before we can have that real conversation. We will only get so far with Kuz being a starter. He needs to be a sixth man and embrace that role. Would suit both parties most. Considering he took trade talks hard, I don't know how he would take a bench role. Here's the thing with Kuz. Kuz is going to be the guy that's on your team that thinks, I am the best player on the floor, bar none, hands down, I'm the best. And you want guys like that. But then you also have, and he's more vocal about it. Then you have a guy like Brandon Ingram who feels the exact same way. He thinks he's the best player on the floor, better than LeBron. So does Kuzma. Thinks if you ask them straight up, they would say, yeah, I'm better than LeBron. Of course, because that's what you want. You want those guys to be saying that. And when they do, those are the types of things that you want. But Kuz is not going to be happy with a bench role. And there's no way he would be. But let's say you do trade for, it depends on what you do here. Let's say, hypothetically, you bring in Tobias Harris, and he starts playing the 4 role, right? Kuz is going to the bench. It's going to happen. That's the best place for him. I'm totally in agreement with you there. I do think that's the better. I know there's most people think that Kuzma is the best player of the young guys. From everything that I've been watching, from game 1 to game 77, from beginning to end, every single game, the highest ceiling is Ingram and not Kuzma. Kuzma, I don't think, has that high ceiling. Wonder if Kuz will just sit the rest of the year too. Hope he does. I don't know if he is going to. I mean, he sat today. That didn't really seem. They're saying he had an ankle injury or a knee issue or whatever it was. That was one of those. Hey, just take a seat. We're in New Orleans we don't want to win, and then they end up winning anyway. So yeah, I think everybody's being shut down. And what you're gonna watch, you're gonna see JaVale. You're gonna see more Wagner. It's all about Wagner time, Bonga time. When you get 10 plus minutes from Bonga, I mean, all right, can we talk about Bonga for just a second? Everyone that throughout the year that was like, oh, we need Bonga. He's like 19, maybe 20 now, and against this terrible Pelicans team, he looked awful. And that's fine. He's young and he's going to grow and he's going to be good. And I think he's got the ability, he's got the move, like he's got a good skill set behind him. For the G League right now, he's not ready. He's not ready for the NBA yet. Just like Svi wasn't ready, just like a lot of these guys aren't ready. Jamario Jones wasn't ready, and all the guys that came up were not ready. And we know that Scott Machado, nope, sorry. But we just have to understand that that's how that's going to go. George Santiago, yep, the article on wasting LBJ year. What would you be looking for when Majinka finally speak publicly again? Probably that would be on exit interviews. You know what? Exit interviews are not public. Sometimes they do go out afterwards and talk to him, but the actual exit interviews are not public. What would I be looking for from them, from Majinka to talk about? I just want them to be straight up. I mean, it's not going to happen. They're going to look, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have Rob Pelinka. He's going to come out and he's going to say, well, this year was kind of like back in the old days when, like, Thebians 623 or whatever. I don't know. I'm Jewish. I don't know anything about the Bible, but he'd throw you out some kind of Bible verse. I try to think of one of them and I don't know anything. What's a good Bible verse? Do you know any Bible verses that I could throw out that's just a random, like, about destruction? Thou shalt not kill. Yeah, not like the actual, like, Plebeians 10:12 or whatever. Do you know anything? Anybody know any of those? Give me a good destruction Bible piece. If you can, help me out with that, and that will be what Rob Pelinka will come out, because that's what it was. It was a disaster. It was like, when there was like Sodom and Gomorrah and like all that kind of, that, I don't know what that is. But anyway, bro, glad you changed your mind about Caruso. Yeah, Beltran Perez. I still think he's a guy that needs to be on there. I haven't really changed too much there, but I've changed enough to the fact that he should be on the team. Julian Geis, 35. What pick do you think the Lakers will get? They're going to be right around 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. And that's what we got to be happy with. If we look at Tankathon right now, they are the 11th spot with a half a game up on Minnesota and 2 in a loss column to Charlotte. So with 5 left, they have a better shot of being the 11th than the 10th. I don't think they're going to catch New Orleans. I think 10 is about the highest they're going to get, Julian, unfortunately. I would like them to be a little bit higher. But if you go over to ShowtimeForum, they're doing a whole list of guys that are good pickups for the Lakers in the draft. They have a whole college thread that's going on right now that all the guys at ShowtimeForum are all putting together. So it's really good. If you want to know some in-depth stuff about some of the guys there, go check out ShowtimeForum, their college thread. And maybe we should get that pinned, by the way. If anybody here on ShowtimeForum sees that, go ahead and pin the college thing to the front of the ShowtimeForum Twitter page. Maybe spam. We offered Zoo to the Clippers. They didn't even call us. It's pathetic. One of the worst trades in recent Laker history already. Let's hope that was a learning experience for Majinka. All right. Do you think the Phoenix? All right. There's 2 different things here. By the way, so all right. Let's go into this Zoo thing, because I think it's totally right. Look, I need to be straight up with you. The Zoo trade was awful. It was terrible. I hated it. But let me ask you this straight up. Does Zoo give you a better chance to win games? If that answer is yes, then it's fine that he left. He's gonna get a bigger contract in the summer. We could have offered him more. You can offer him money, and that's great. And he could be your center of the future. If you're gonna go out and get Boogie Cousins, then it doesn't really matter. But Zoo, as much as I loved him and I wanted him to stick around here, it's a small percentage of the things that they did wrong. That was an awful move, but it wasn't really the worst thing in the world, right? I mean, okay, Zoo is gone. I'm sorry. It sucks. We got to move past that. It was a terrible move. Yes, and that's why the Clippers laughed at. Jerry West laughed and said, "Oh, you're giving us Zubats? Great. That's awesome." But I don't think that's the end of the world that we traded Zubats. He's good for Zubats. I'm happy that he's happy in the Clippers. It sucks seeing him in a Clippers uniform, but I don't think I don't think they're gonna end up paying him what he wants to be paid in the summer anyway. I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize it as best that I can. Let's see. Would you want Kyrie on this team? All right. It's a good question. Overall, yes. Kyrie is a winner. He's a closer. He's a finisher. He's great around the basket. He's got a good 3-point shot. He's a good shooter. He does everything. He plays pretty good defense. Yes. However, he does get injured a lot. If you want to talk about injury-prone guys, Kyrie Irving is an injury-prone guy. And we can see what happens in the playoffs with him. When he's actually healthy, he's fantastic in the playoffs and can win games for you. I don't think he comes back and just comes running back to LeBron. I just don't see that happening. It seems weird if that did happen. I don't think he would do that. But yes, if he says, I want to be a Laker, I'm all for it. Because Lonzo doesn't need the ball in his hands anyway. And he's a two guard. He can absolutely be that two guy, and he needs the ball in his hands. I think Lonzo and Kyrie can play together. I think anybody can play with Lonzo. Lonzo is a guy that's going to get everybody involved and doesn't need the ball in his hands, so I don't think it matters. As long as you got his good defensive play, hits wide open shots. You think as long as he does a whole bunch of does the things off the scoreboard that you want from him, I think that's an important thing. Which player do you think will come to the Lakers? It's tough, man. I think you can convince a lot of guys. I think you can convince the Vucevics, the Butlers, Tobias Harris possibly. You can convince like Danny Green possibly to be. I don't know if those are the big enough names for us, but I think you can get that maybe the Bojan Bogdanovic. I think you can get guys to convince to come here, shooters to be here. I just don't know if it's going to be the ones that everybody wants. Julian Geis, 35. Do you think the Lakers will get another big free agent this summer? I'm kind of wary on if it's going to be another big free agent. I think they're going to get two free agents. It's if they either get the one big one or the two free agents, and I don't think. I'm wary on the one big one, so I think it's going to be two smaller ones, and we got to be happy because they're going to be better than the Mozgov and Dang years. That's basically what we're at. We missed on the big name that year. We knew we were going to miss on the big name that year, so they went out and they got Mozgov and Dang instead right away, and that was a disappointment. I hope they're not that. Bro, you're buying into the Bojan train. I like it, Craig. Yeah, look, Bojan is a shooter, and I think a guy that's a shooter can get to the basket. He's a good, decent player that, he will make the team better. Laker Facts, I'm happy when the Lakers win. So am I. Yes, thank you, Laker Facts. I'm happy as well. I can't ever be upset when they lose. It's just not in my DNA. Franklin Peanuts, do you see that Earl Watson interview for the UCLA job and would bring on Larry Brown as his lead assistant? I saw that he was interviewed for the UCLA job. I did not see the Larry Brown part. Larry Brown's pretty old. I mean, he still understands what he's doing. That's a great guy to bring on. But Earl Watson, I still don't believe is that coach. Look, the UCLA Bruins are 91, 92 games without a real head coach now. 92 days without a head coach. You don't go out and hire Earl Watson. That's not what you could have had Earl Watson day one. If you're going to go get Earl Watson right now, that means you failed on everything else. You missed on everybody else, and now he's like your 17th, 18th, 19th choice. He's not the number one choice. I know a lot of guys just think he's from UCLA and he was a coach for the Phoenix Suns for like a day, but no, that's not the guy that I'm looking for. I want a bigger name. I do want Coach Calipari. I want them to get somebody like Tony Bennett would be awesome, who are both in the Final Four, by the way. So, you got to wait a little bit longer. Just keep waiting and really see if those guys. The Coach Cal thing was supposed to be a real thing, and hopefully that's something that sticks around for a little while and they actually can pick him up. And now actually Cal's out now. Kentucky lost. So you can talk to Cal right now and say, offer him the moon. They're saying it's going to be a top 3 paying job. Go do it. Go do it. Let's see. I got Earl Watson is a terrible coach. If we let Luke go, it has to be an elite coach, and there's simply none on the market, so it's better that we keep Luke. All right, maybe, Span, we're talking about two different things here. Earl Watson, they were talking about for the UCLA job, and yes, here's the thing. I think Luke is the absolute right coach for the Lakers right now. I'm on the higher bring back Luke train. I've become a part of that train because who else are you going to bring in? There's nobody. There's nobody else that's anywhere near worthy of having that job. I just can't see it. And I know a lot of you guys are the same way. I don't think that a lot of you guys want to see anybody else either. So we'll see. All right. So I think I'm running out of topics here. So it's Sunday. Go enjoy your Sunday, guys. I mean, I love talking to you guys, and I'll be back here on Tuesday. I'm actually going to be here on Tuesday with you, and it's an actual thing to talk about. There'll be more people here, and hopefully I'll have everything fixed up by then. But I'm going to end it here. I'm going to cut it because I got to figure out what's going on with Periscope. I don't got much else to talk about. It's Sunday. I want to spend the rest of the day with my girl, so I'm done. I'm out of here. Thank you very much for being here on the Sunday. I appreciate it, but I'm going to cut it early. I'll see you on Tuesday. All right, I'm out of here.